Welcome, trolls. Bruce sees all.
Hi everyone, Bruce Swartz here. It's a rainy day. I love infrared astronomy. I love all types of astronomy. Wow, Bruce. We're going to look at some amazing close-ups on the surface. Yes, that is a large object that crashed into the moon at the end of 2019. I have more than 4 objects just at the end of 2019 that spiraled towards the moon that I was able to capture. So obviously we're into the haze, right? When it arrives to the moon, here's a nice angle right there. Just an object catching on fire that you could even see signs of some of its shape and form. I have a lot of images like this. Well, they're not images, they're live footage. And along with this one, let's jump back and forth. Let's go into the infrared spectrum. We're going to go into the sky, and that's where we are right now, looking at an asteroid, which is a UFO. It's just an unidentified flying object. The details, it's turning around. There's lights flashing, occurring around the object, the asteroid. This is one and only capture, the biggest and closest capture I've ever gotten with an infrared camera. Now, this is a camera that gathers a lot of light. Infrared cameras show us wavelengths that our eyes cannot see. And say to yourself, the deeper you go into space, we can't see those wavelengths the further we are. So, the James Webb telescope, look at this, spiraling around. It's basically a big metallic ball or a giant snowball, right? Like Atlas. Been hearing some rumors about Atlas on a news media, The Independent. Won't say more than that. They said it had fizzed out, but I'm not sure. So maybe I'm wrong. Lines on the surface of the moon. Now we're on the surface. We're jumping, like we're teleporting on the surface now. What are those lines? I call this the central, right? Not central command, but the central lines, whether trains, whether it be autoroutes, whether it be buildings or connections with liquids in it, or past or present, who knows? But it's on the surface, and check it out. The fact that they have the same reflectivity as the surface, I can't mention this enough, it's the reason why we're not able to distinguish the differences with those objects on the surface. Check it out. Look at all the lines. You see it has a very smart, complex system. It's not at all just ejecta rolling around left and right. I can hear my coffee machine bubbling there. Sorry. And there are the lines. Look there, another line overlapping themselves, and off to the right, those squares, bottom right, a black square, just to the right of the arrows. What are those squares? There's hundreds of them on the surface, guys. Here at the end of the promontorium, we could see more. The most amazing view of any surface structure, well, one of them anyways, that I've ever gotten. I haven't gotten hundreds of thousands, but I'm telling you, I'm getting more and more each time by examining the same areas. It's just absolutely mind-blowing and so evident that it really is constructed, ancient or not. These lights that are on the surface are going pretty fast. And when they're on the surface or over the surface of the moon, it's not the same as the objects that I'm seeing in the sky here with infrared that we'll see a bit later. Look at the complexity in those objects. They are so square, 90-degree angles. They even wrap around mountain areas or higher elevated areas to fit on the surface, different levels, high and low. Here's an interesting one. Check over to the right. Imagine in that white area if there were other objects like these rectangles that we're seeing, right? Theoretically. The surface with the smokes and hazes, like this, for example, with a smoke over these objects, you would not see them. Again, it's just theory, but we're looking at something right in the middle. Let's look over to the left. This clear, straight path, I mean, there's no two ways about it, going to another blinded, blurred area. Who says, theoretically, that there are not other objects underneath those hazes? Well, that, first of all, is how I'm finding them. UFOs are on the surface. It's No mystery, they're there. Do you have to look for a long time to be able to see a UFO on the surface? Well, sometimes, yes, of course. Sometimes you could look for a week, maybe a whole moon phase, and you won't see any. But when you see them, sometimes you could see them in groups. Sometimes you see unique objects, we call them UFOs. It doesn't mean that people are driving in them. It doesn't mean that some of these are not meteors or asteroids or just debris. I totally agree with that. But that's why I'm looking at the characteristics of some of these, because some of these are actually moving in the sky, right? They're moving. So check this out. 1, 2, you'll see 3, 4. I mean, they just keep coming by. And how many satellites can we see? Listen, satellites have a trajectory. It's easy to look up online. I do it. And where I'm seeing these are not on the trajectory. They're all over the sky. They go from north to south. They go from east to west. And we're able to capture these on certain evenings, clear evenings, because a satellite, sure, maybe they exist, but those would be the high up ones. The ones that you see going very slowly. Look at the speeds of this. This is so fast. It is not an airplane, and it's not even a satellite. It's way faster than a satellite. Watch the flash. It's going to appear beside it. So this is cool. As you slow them down, you see it. Look at that. All the things that can occur around it. Pretty cool. Moving right along, even though we have a fan noise. So yes, there's Pleiades. An object went by Pleiades at one point. I don't think it's definitely not birds. They don't show up like that. It's hard. Sometimes birds can pass off as meteors. You have to be very careful. Once you get used to the infrared, I'm just sharing the captures either way. So we're waiting for that Atlas, whether it exploded or not. I hope it didn't, and I'm almost feel bad having mentioned it. I shared the link on the independent news media was talking about that, and I really do not know that news media. I don't think any of them are trustable, right? This is beside the sun. Atlas will be coming around the mountain when she comes real soon. Astrophotography, Ace of Space, YouTube channel, been having, I can't really say problems, but he's been harassing, right? Emails, sort of more annoying than anything else. But imagine he declared being a military veteran, but imagine him making a video in front of my live stream, recording him talking to me, telling me off. Check it out. It's worth a look.
I don't know if you know him, Ace of Space. Squeaky. The guy's name is Squeaky. I call him Squeaky.
That's nice. You can call me Squeaky all you want, Bruce. My new nickname for you is Fat Bastard. How does that sound? No, you're the biggest a-hole. You're the fat bastard. You're the troll.
That's when you know you're popular and trending.